Shambho Mahadev. In the 50th shloka, Bhagavan further explains who the Avadhuta explains to Yadu, the king. This example is for the analogy of the sun, Surya. Gunair gunanupadatti yatha kalam vibhuchyati nateshu yujyate yogi gobhirgaiva gopatihi. The yogi is such a person who accepts the sense objects through the sense organs, return them at the due season, due time to the due people, without being attached to them, like the sun giving water that it has evaporated from the oceans, condense it. It is because of the heat the water is getting evaporated, and it is because of the heat again it rains. Yes. It's some kind of reservoir, or natural reservoir, which you cannot do it on the ground. From an accumulated portion is an accumulated portion in a particular area. From that accumulated portion, which is mass, the sun draws the water droplets, creates the clouds, then gives that water as rain to all. See, gunair na gunanubadate. So taking from the ocean, you can say it is being taken from here and it is given to them, but to the beneficiaries in the right manner. By having the water in the ocean, that was of no use for many people. But when it came as rain, many fields could cultivate annam. Many people could get water, drinking water. Many animals and insects could get water from that. It's not only small thing. No? Many trees and many human, everybody have got water from that, even though it has been taken from here. That water which was accumulated, which was of no use, it was absolutely dead. Being there, all the water which cannot be used for anything else, the yogi, even though it is taken from the nature, gives it to the nature, but taken from the nature at a particular time and given back to the society, given back to the universe, given back to the universe or the world for the needy people at the time it is necessary. Not sometime. He draws water from the ocean during summer, all 2-3 months, no rain. When the monsoon starts, we call it as monsoon. At a particular time, it's not only that he gives it back to the world when it is necessary, not sometime just like that. So during the monsoon is the time when cultivation is started, and then seeds are sown, or it is grown, or many other activities depending on this monsoon is taken place, and continuously for some time this is given to facilitate all these activities. Again it is gone. Again it draws and keeps it. So he said, the yogi is also like that. The sense objects is drawn through sense organs and gives it back at the right time to the people is the yogi. Yatha kalam vimushchati. Yatha kalam vimushchati. That's very important. Not any time. For a small child you give 100 crores of rupees. Come on, take it. For a young man, what he will do? He will destroy it. Yatha kalam samushchati. Now divide it into the money required for his education, for his this, for his this, for his this, for his this, and distribute it accordingly. He will utilize it properly. This should be known by the giver. Since the people do not know, same way, the people do not know when they want the water. But Surya knows when they require the water. He prepares the earth during the summer, dries it up, so that all, see, it's beautiful, it's not a small thing, how God has created things now. Go minutely, you all know it, but only when I say you are reminded of it, that's all. It's not that nobody knows about it. Now I'll tell you how many of us have thought this. During summer, when it is a scorching sun, the whole earth gets heated up. All the paddy fields, everything gets heated up. Let us look at the agriculture. All get heated up. Of course, along with that, bad is also there. There becomes scarcity of water in the wells and things like that. But there are jalashayas which doesn't get dried up at all. It is the man-made the wells which for his facility to certain depth that it is there. The water table goes down, but it's not, the water is completely not there. It is there. And you will get it. Now, the scorching sun, when it falls on the earth or when it falls on the human body or on the trees or anywhere for that matter, what happens? It dries up the whole thing. At a point of time when cultivation was done, there were so many weeds, so many unwanted things, or every season you might change the crop, every season you might have different things. So many weeds are there, so many other things are there, so many unknown chemicals are there. Every time you have to manure, every time you have to pesticide, every time you have to do this, every time you have to do this. Where is all this gone? Where is all this gone? Where the effect of all this gone? During the summer, when the sun, scorching sun takes place, it, because of it is dry and it is hot, it evaporates along with the water. It evaporates all those unwanted things from the earth, from the trees, from the plants, from many things. It destroys all those things, is it not? When it is destroyed everything and the mud becomes practically crushed, it's not a clay, it's not moldable, it's absolutely dry and becomes powder. When you take it, it becomes powder. And that is absolutely necessary for a field. Then when a small shower comes, see, so that the dust doesn't fly, then he plows that land, you see, which is now easy for him to plow. It does not become hard, even though it is crushed, it's powdered because of the scorching sun, and all the weeds, unwanted things are removed. Now he plows it. It becomes easier. Then comes the rain. You see. Then put the seed. See. And the earth is absolutely virgin, absolutely clean. At that point of time, you put the seeds there. Then the water is accumulated. Then you pour your manure and other things. Along with the water accumulated there, it grows the annam. And when it grows annam, at a point of time when it flowers and fruits, stops, rain stops, so that it doesn't fall down. See? Is it not? At the right time, it stops and it gives you sometimes one shower so that it doesn't get dried up. You see how beautifully it is organized. So the rain, we say, oh, rain reduce, once in a while only we have rain. Only once in a while it is necessary. So it gives like that, so that it doesn't fall off, but it keeps green and keeps growing, and at a point of time again it completely stops raining. See this cycle, how beautifully organized. Who does all this? Even today, whatever mechanization has taken place, whole electrically, everything has been developed. Even now, you're all dependent on rain. It's not for water. Most of the farmers are dependent on rain, even though you may have reservoirs and other collections of water, but still, the world, all over the world, we're all dependent on rain. Okay, some compensation can be done without rain, but we cannot do away with the rain. Total, absolute necessity of rain. See how the sun has distributed. Who does this? Sun does it. For not his benefit. This sun who draws the water gives it. That's why yatha kalam. Why did I say that? Yatha kalam vimushchati. Distributed yatha kale, depending, as I told you, crores of rupees divided into number of divisions depending on requirement. Water, depending upon requirement, he divided it beautifully well. After drawing it, made the clouds, and depending on that, cracked the clouds and gave the water, stopped it. When it is necessary, who told him to stop? Oh, now farmers will be telling that, oh, now it's ripening time, it should not rain because the whole thing will collapse and everything will get spoiled. It should not rain at that time which ripens, when it flowers, when it blooms, when it fruits, all that. When it rains, means the whole thing will fall down. How beautifully yatha kalam vimushchati. Who? Same way. Nateshu yujyate yogi. Gomirgaiva gopati. The same way, the yogi to the people. He educates the people, he guides the people, he guides the world and universe, yatha kalam, and depending upon their requirement, for each disciple, depending upon his or her requirement, he gives kashta, he gives dukkha, he gives happiness. Like the sun dries the earth, we say it is dukkha. Nothing can grow at that time, everything is very hot. We think it is dukkha. So like that, in order to prepare the ground of the mind of a person, dukkha is absolutely necessary. A person who has not undergone dukkha, he will never learn a lesson. One has to undergo the process of punishment and dukkha, because that is why, now I remember that, one word I always told you, number of times, still I tell you. Names are always a problem. It's very important. Pandava's mother, Kunti. See, Mata Kunti, when war was over, Bhagavan Krishna very happily visits he is his aunt, Bhagavan Krishna's aunt. He goes and tells now Devi Kunti, war is over, your sons are safe, all the 5 of them. They are getting the kingdom. You had always been having problems. You had always been, from the inception, she had been having problems. I had to leave from the palace, live in the forest, jungle, came back also, lived as practically living as some outsider. The king is so and so, Dhritarashtra, and lives as a guest. Had been undergoing all the atrocities by these Kauravas. Everything is finished. Now, Mate, you should be very happy. You should be happy and be happy. And that is the time Mata Kunti says, hey, Krishna, Bhagavan, give me that dukkha. Because all this while, I had been constantly remembering you. Once I thought I am happy, your memory is gone from me. I don't want that. Therefore, hey, do something like that. Strange, right? Do something like this, that even though everything is there, let me be in that dukkha. It doesn't mean that one should have the problems. She means that let me have the bhakti of you. But the bhakti of you comes only in that dukkha, not in the absolute happiness. In absolute happiness, everybody forgets the God, Guru and all that. See. So to give dukkha is the same way. Yatha kalam vimaschati. Depending upon requirement, dukkha has to be given. Kashta has to be given. Depending upon requirement, jnanam has to be given and has to be done the uddhara from there. Then depending upon that only one should know how one behaves in different situations, how a disciple undergoes. The purpose, like the earth preparing itself for the cultivation and gives a beautiful sweet fruit from that. Disciple, how it is prepared for that. So yatha kalam vimushri yogi. Does the guna gunair gunanupadatte anupadat. Depending upon anupada means that equation. Depending upon requirement, anupadam. Gunanupadatte. Percentage, anupadam, depending upon small requirement. A yogi prepares the world, yogi prepares the universe depending upon that, and then how he prepares, taking from them. Not that each disciple is given dukkha. One disciple dukkha, one disciple sukha, one disciple something, one disciple something. Yatha anupade. See, depending upon necessity of each one. Monsoon here is different. Winter in America is different. Winter in India is different. Winter in New Zealand is different. Winter in somewhere else is different. Monsoon is also different. Kala is different in different places. Depending upon its own requirement, that Kala is provided there. Yeah. It's not that, here, June to August, monsoon, all over the world. It's not there. No. Gunainu padatte yatha kalam vimushchate. That is what the yogi does. And what is what yogi does is what I have, what is it? The Avadhuta says that this is what I have learned from the Surya, the sun. See? Then he goes to the next shloka. Buddhyate svena vedena vyaktistaita tadgata lakshade sthulamini viratma chavasthito arkavat. Arka means sun, that's a paryaya. Arka means sun. Like the sun, buddhyate svena vedena vedena vyaktistha. The Atman established in itself is not perceived as admitting of varieties, but when manifested, lakshade sthulamiti itself through an adjunct is looked upon by dull-witted people as becoming identified with that. Many people mistake that the Sharira and Mana is the arm. But hey, Rajan, look at the sun. When it is reflecting in the ocean, it is big. When it is reflecting in a lake, it is smaller. When it is in a river, it is smaller. When it is in a glass of water, it is smallest. The reflections of the Surya, depending upon the size of the container, it changes, and we think, or a child, or not a child, let us say, a dull-witted person in the sense, the man who doesn't, an ignorant person. An ignorant person thinks that sun's size is only that. Oh, see, glass of water, sun reflects on that. Sun is only so small. But when you say in the ocean, the sun is so big. Whatever it is. So depending upon that size of the receiver, the person who is ignorant, he thinks it is the size of the sun, like the Atma, when it is Jivatma, when it is spread all over the Jivatmas, it looks like one has got small, one has got big, an insect, small insect creeping under the earth, and an elephant. And a dull-witted person, an ignorant person will think elephant has got big Atma and the insect has got small Atma because it is only small. Quantifying the Sharira, they think Atma is that small and big. But what he says is that, we understand now, whether it is a small worm or whether it is an elephant or whether it is something bigger than that, the Atma is same in everything and everyone. So, for a yogi, nothing is small, no one is big. But what we think, an insect, small thing I can crush. You are only able to crush, an elephant can crush you, and you can crush an insect can crush a smaller insect. It goes on like that. We compare the strength of ours depending on that, oh, I have got the bigger Atma. So, hey Rajan, what I have learned is that everything is same. It is only that external Sharira is different. Depending upon the karmas that has to be executed by each one, each one has been given different shapes and forms for performing their karmas. Otherwise, everything is same. Everyone is same. There is no difference as far as the Atma, the inherent Atma, which is the driving force of everything, which is called as energy, which is known as prana, which is known as jiva, which is known as XYZ. Everything is what? It is that Atman, and that Atman is equivalent in everyone. There is no difference. Yogi looks everyone as Samatva Bhavana. How can I get a Samatva Bhavana? He doesn't see the externalities of the object of that, which is a form and shape. Being a sadhu, being a sant, being a sannyasi, being a great knowledgeable tapasvi and person, a great person who has associated himself with the highest consciousness, associated himself with the Brahman, he sees Brahman in everything. He doesn't see like one who has an X-ray eye. In an X-ray, taking an X-ray, your X-ray and my X-ray. Any difference? Can you make out? Nothing. Same like this, two few lines are there, both the sides. Just with that. Few lines are there and some black, some white. All are same. For Yogi, everyone is that. See. Like you see an X-ray of a person. How can I identify this man as bad, this man good, this is a man, this is an elephant, this is nothing. All are Atmas. But what happens? It is not that he doesn't know that it has got an object externality. It's not that he doesn't know that it has got a shape and form. Even though it has a shape and form, he is not attached or attracted to the shape and form. He is attracted and attached to only that which is common in him as well as others and everywhere. And he sees the same thing in the atmosphere, in the human, in everything. Like there is oxygen inside, outside you and inside you. A person who sees only oxygen, can he differentiate a human? No. Can he differentiate an insect? Can he differentiate a tree or a plant? No. Everything has oxygen, that's all. Everything has got air, that's all. The external body will get disposed of, will get diluted. It is temporary. Do we look at it? Does he look at it? He doesn't look at it. Yogi doesn't look at it. He looks at the Atma. He looks at the karma phala of why the Atma is in that particular position. But Atma is same. Atma is pure. There is no impurity in that. If there is anything impure, it cannot sustain in this world. Everything is pure in the sense, Atma, according to the Atma is concerned, everything is pure. There is no bad Atma and good Atma. Many people say Duratma is a wrong word to be used. There is no Duratma. Who can do Dushya to the Atma? Who can do Shita to the Atma? Who can do the wrong, adulterate? Who can adulterate the Atma? Something more powerful than that should be there in order to adulterate that? Or somebody who is more powerful than that should be there? No one. Atma is that Paramatma only. So, who will adulterate that? So, there is nothing called Duratma. There is a word used by many people for that, Paishachika, Pishacha and all that. For that they say Duratma, they did the destruction, Duratma, and all that, and they scare you. Many tantrics, many mantrics, they will say, Duratma aapka gala kholte. But for some people, that is necessary. At least they will be, even though it is a fiction, kam se kam usse to darega. So maybe because of that they have invented this word, Quite possible, I don't know. But anyway, technically speaking, that word is not right, that's all. There is nothing. Atma is always pure. A yogi looks at everything as pure. Even a papi, that's why he is able to pardon a papi. When he goes to a great saint, he must have done lot of papa karmas, but still he goes to the yogi, he pardons him. He tells him how to come out of it. That's all. There is no discrimination between a good man and a bad man there. He does the same advice to everyone. This discrimination is because he looks at the Atma only. And the karma phala that one has to undergo, depending upon that, he takes the form and shape, and that form and shape is necessary. I don't say it is not necessary. That form and shape, that is why it is there. it is necessary, and one has to undergo that through the forms and shapes. It is what one has to understand. Experiencing through the forms and shapes, ultimately identifying and understanding there is no form and shape. That's all. Through identifying the forms and shapes, one identifies that there is no form and shape, and form and shapes are not important. It is the Atma that is important. A yogi, when by looking at the sun or by the sun's activities, one teacher is that this is what the Avadhuta says to the Raja Yadu, that this is what I have learned from the sun, hey Bhagwan. Then comes the beautiful story. This is for class, small, but it is for us also. Even though the story listening is for children, but understanding the story is for even 120-year-old man. Small story, but nice to listen. So therefore, one of those small things, I will read the whole thing. Let me read it. He has written the story very well. Now what is the story about? The next teacher. Who is the next teacher? Kapota. Pigeon. It's Kapota. Kapota is pigeon. So from Kapota, what he has learned? He has learned from Kapota, from a bird. Let us call it as a bird. Here it is told, specifically he said Kapota, but let us say it is bird. From birds what he has learned. Na atisneha. Na atisneha means na atisneha. Na atisneha prasango va kartavya kapi kenachit kurvanyindeta santapam. Kurvanyindeta santapam kapotaiva dinadhi. Like a kapota, one should not cherish too much affection or attachment for anyone. Na atisneha. Na atisneha. Prasangova kartavya kapi kenachit. Why? Kurvanyindeta santapam. What's the result? Santapam, sadness. Santapam means sadness. Santapam. So if one does so, one is smitten with affliction like the poor pigeon. Now what happens to the pigeon? The Kapota will read the beautiful story, graphically set from this verse to end of this chapter. He has covered about, oh my God, so many shlokas for Kapota. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 12, 13 shlokas he has written about Kapota. Let me, somewhere I'll read the shloka because it sounds nice. Kapota kashyannaranye Kridanido vanaspatau kapitya bharyaya sardam uvasa kitichitmana. Started. Once upon a time there was a Kapota Kashyannaranye, in an aranya, and he in a certain tree, Kridinode vanaspati, in a certain tree and in a particular forest, and lived with Bhareya Sardamuvasa, with his wife. For some years with his wife he lived very happily. Bharya means wife. Kapotau Sneha Gunita Hridayau. Kapota is Sneha Gunita Hridaya. Very lovable to each other, and Grihadharminau, and follows the Grihadharmam very well. They loved each other very well for every small thing. Drishtim Drishtaya Gamangena. drishtim drishtayam. These are why I just want to. It's a Kavi's bhavanas. Fixing their gaze at each other. Drishtim drishtayam. No? Angam angaya. Hugging each other. Angena. Buddhim buddhaya. Like they think the same way. They see the same way. Things like that. Buddhaya. Babandhatuhu. Each. They gone each in close companionship. Each intent on the other. They lived very lovingly, very happily, beautiful, very well. So, Tayasanadasthanavaarta Kridashanadhigam Mithuni Bhuya Vistrabdau Cheradurvarajisho. In the forest, they together went out for food, and also in all the acts of lying, sitting, roaming, resting, talking, sporting, eating without any bhayam, because their medhuni bhuya, because of their closeness, they forgot about the external world. Because that's why medhuni bhuya means medhuni abhaya. Whenever we have, loving and caring, when we are very much in love, we forget about the whole universe. People say, no. When you forget about the whole universe, there is no fear. That's why many of the people run away from houses. They don't think whether the parents, if not there, money is not there, what will happen? Yeah, if they have to suffer without a shelter, what will happen? No fear. They run away in the night, and then morning they think, now where to live? Look for bench, park bench, and like in movies. No, that's how I know. I did not run away anytime. Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva. So what happened? The fear is gone. That's why. When there is a lot of love in mind, when there is a lot of bhakti in mind, when there is a lot of love in mind, when there is a lot of affection in mind, what happens? The bhayam will go away. Automatically there is a protection. There is something which gives you a lot of confidence that the world is nothing. That kind of attitude will come. That's why he said, Medhuni bhuya vistrabdau. So like that, you can understand how those beautiful two birds lived in that nest. Yam tham vachvati sa rajam sparsha yan anukampitaha tam tam samanatyakam samanatyakam kriche papya jitendriya. This problem is there with everyone. Whenever samanayat kamam kriche rajam sparsha panyantu anikampita vachamsi. Whenever the female bird who pleased her partner and was agreeably treated by him wished for the other, hey Rajan, fulfilled those wants even at the cost of much trouble, for he was a slave to his senses. This male bird, being loved, taken care, given everything that is necessary and all the happiness for his mind and physical body. Hey Rajan, what happened? He practically obliged for each and everything what she has asked for, and like a slave to his senses. Kapodi, I like that story. Kapodi, Pradhamam Garbham. Now problem starts. Kapoti, Kapoti, Prathamam Garbham. Grihyati Kala Agate, Andani, Subhite Nide, Sobatyo, Sannidhat Sati. You know the meaning. One day she got pregnant in course of time and had her first conception and laid some eggs and adi in the nest in presence of, that is why Sottu Sannidhe Sati. Sannidhe, that means in presence of him. So that no, there's a, why he has explained like this. No, it's there. Sannidhi in the Sannidhi. Sannidhi means in presence of him. In Sannidha. He understands, no, each and every love and affection from her and also her sufferings. Now laying eggs is a difficult process for the Kapoti. So in the sad, not only, he explains like this, that not only in the happiness, even in the sadness or in the pain and sitting also, Kapota was there with the Kapoti. So in person Sannidhe, Sannidhe Satihi. This has happened in his Sannidhi, is what he is explaining. So like that, in all Sukha Dukha, they lived together with all sharing that each other wherever possible. Teshu Kale Vijayanta Rajda Vayavaharehi Shaktir Birdur Vibhavyami Komalanga Anuruha. Beautiful children they had, few of them. Small, tiny birds. Yes, astonishing, like Lord, astonishing fashioning features. They had beautiful wings, beautiful beaks, beautiful eyes, beautiful small, tiny legs. And then they were looking very nice. Praja, Upushadau Pridau, Dabbadi, Putravatsalau, Shranavanye Kujadam Jatasam, Nemurtau Kala Bhaishadaitai. The happy pair devoted to their Pupu Shatapu, the Putra Putris, the offsprings, reared the young ones, listening to their chirping, delighted by their sweet accents. Nevarto Kalabhishatau Vasam Pavatrai, like that. Vasam Pavatrai Gusparshahu Puje Jayamo Dacheshtataihi Pratyud Gamai Radinanam Pidarai Mudasamatuhu. They were cheerful and their wings were very soft to touch, their warblings, graceful movements, going out to meet their parents. Returned when they normally, you must have seen the small ones, they'll be always in the cage, but they'll see, they've got that sensory system is very high. They can see the parents coming from far with the food. At that time, they will fly out of the nest and catch up with them. Then they will return with them. So like that, they kept on doing it and they enjoyed that. How he has thought of how beautifully, how the attachments have been created. Exactly like human being, that's the thing, same thing happens. Now what happens? They forgot everything. This is their world. These children, this mother, this father, that's all the world. They forgot about everything else, that what can happen. Now Sneha Anubandhas Hridaya Vanyenam Vishnumayaya Vimohitahu Dinadiyahu Shishunyupushada Praja. The two birds with their hearts attached to each other in love, beguiled by the Lord's Maya, reared their young ones with no higher outlook on life. They did not know what to do. Ekada Jaganmusta, one day, the pair, Jaganmusta, Tasam, Anyartham Tauhu, Kudumbinahu, Paritaha, Kanani Parimannarthinahu, Cheradu Kritam. One day the pair went in search of food for them. roamed about for a long time in that forest with this object of getting more food. Children are growing. Drishtva luptaka. There comes the problem. The fowler rambling in the woods at will saw them. Kashishta achado vinejaha jagruho jalamatatya charadaha kalayantiko jalam, the net. The fowler rambling in the woods, will see them flying near the nest. They were playing around near the nest. Spread the net, caught them by spreading that trap net. Kapotascha kapoticha prajaposhu sadotsukayuhu gatau posnamadaya kaninga muram angaja akmautu. The parent birds who were always eager to bring up their young ones and had been out for that end returned to their nest with food. The female pigeon, finding her young offspring caught in the trap, kapoti swatma janvichya balagashala sampradan taranyadava victoranti krishade vrishadukkhitaha. Seeing that they were all trapped in the net, Kapoti started crying, howling and weeping, rushed at them crying and much grieved, flying, no, cannot do anything inside the net, how to save them, how you can't do. So kept on crying and all that. And the poor mother bird, fettered by many a tie of love through the Lord's Maya, herself fell into the trap. Trying this, the mouth was there where that pool was. She went to try to escape. She also got trapped into it. Lord's Maya, even then seeing the young ones caught in it, and she was beside herself with grief, even then grief. Now we are inside, then also grief. Outside was also grief. The poor Kapodashatmanaja, the poor male pigeon too, finding his young ones who were more to him than his own self, as well as his beloved partner who was a fit match for him, in the sense who were very much together, the whole thinking and all, as we have explained, caught in the trap, wept, sorely afflicted. He could not do anything. Poor bird sat outside, started crying. Aho me pashadapayam malpapunyasya durmate atar prastyakritarthasya grihasthair vagigo hata. Alas, behold my calamity, unlucky and wicked that I am. Pashadam Dhabaya Malap Aptunya Punnati Durmate. I am a Durmati. It's all my mistake. It's all I am so unlucky, I cannot have them always. You see how everything was going on well. And wicked that I am, before I have been satisfied and have attained the consummation of life, my home, which conduces to the threefold end of life, is gone. The threefold end is virtue, wealth and fulfillment. Gunas, wealth and fulfillment. That means living with the guna, with the with material benefit. So these virtues, wealth and fulfillment of desires. Fulfillment of desire. Fulfillment means fulfillment of desire. So before I could fulfill these requirements, naturally, even for human beings, these are the requirements. So he said, before I fulfilled, I just started living before fulfilling these requirements, I have lost everything. I have lost them. Without them, what will I do? He was at great sorrow and sadness. Anurupa Anukula Najasya me Padi Devata Shunye Grihe Mam Satyajya Putrau Swaryati Sadhubihi Anurupa Anukula Jayasya. Now that Shunye Grihe, now the wife is not there, who was very lovable, always agreeable, who looked upon him as God, who looked upon the husband as the God, Pati, Devata, Shunye Grihe, has ascended to heaven. They all died. Ascended to heaven with her virtuous children, leaving me behind in this Shunya Griha, lonely, empty house. They have left me alone. Now there is no way. I cannot help them. I cannot help me. I do not know what to do. That sorrowful bird with a lot of grief, Vishada, he was sitting in the branch. Soham Shunye Grihe Dino Mardare Marda Praja Jichi Vishe Krimartham Va Biturai Dukha Jivitam. For what purpose should I desire life now? Why, what for? Soham Shunye Grihe Dino. Everything is gone in this deserted house, miserable and afflicted. A widower with all my children, gone, to whom life would mean nothing but woe. Dukkha Jivitaha. What else left? Only Dukkha Jivitam is left. Nothing other than that. Tam sthatayid vavdan shigirma yuktan visheshtada swayam cha karpanaha chichu Vashyanyapyabudo apatam. Even though seeing them caught in the trap, almost in the jaws of death, struggling, that painful struggle inside them to save themselves, cannot witness that sight, unbearable, where he too lost his senses naturally, and oh, begone, fell into it himself. Tam labdha lubdaha. How comes the lubdaha? Krura kapodam grahamedina. Kapoda kankapitam pitim cha siddhartham prayaugra. The cruel, the krura, lubdaka, howler, getting the pigeon who was intent on on family life with his partner. The young ones were satisfied with him and went home. He took all of them. He was very happy with his children. Prayav Siddhartho Prayav Graham. He went to his house very happily with these suffering ones behind. Evam Kudumba Shantatma Dundvaramaha Pavitra Pushnan Kudumbam Kripataha Sanuvanto Avasidati. Thus the miserable family man, thus the miserable grihastha, with his senses uncontrolled, not beyond control, not uncontrolled, beyond control, taking delight in the pairs of the opposites. The opposites means Sukha Dukkha, opposites. They taking delight. He was very happy. When everything was happy and forgotten everything. That's what the word is very carefully. Yeah. Dvandvarama pavitravat. See, in Sanskrit it has been beautifully said. Dvandvarama pavitravat. Both are pavitra for him. That means both are great for him. Both he enjoyed. That's what is meaning. He thought both of this or this is also. When he lived happily, that's pavitra, and forgot about everything else. When he was dukkita, when he was unhappy, he forgot everything, only dukkha, he was only crying. So that is what the opposite dvandita, dvandvarama, patatrivata, maintains his family, and like the bird, comes to grieve together with his belongings. What happens? Evam, such a kudumbastha, a man who is a grihastha, he, in the happiness, he forgets everything and just being there happy. And in the dukkha, he just be having dukkha and just enjoy the happiness and enjoy the sadness also. And without any control of his senses, he just dies like that. That's all. Nothing else he can do. So this is what comes, the grief together with the belongings. Belongings is bodies. Now the last sloka, he concludes here. Yaprapya manusham lokam. So what is it now? Yaprapya manusham lokam muktidwaram apavrutam griheshu sugadhatsakta astamara arudachyudam vidu. Yaprapya manusham lokam. A person who is attaining the human birth, manusham lokam, one who is attaining the human birth, which is like an open gateway to liberation, is attached like the bird to the family concerns merely, is considered as one who has fallen from his status. Status means the high status which he has already occupied. A person, when he is born, he is at a very high status because he is born with the highest consciousness. For the purpose of attaining the highest consciousness, he is born. So he is at a higher status. We told you in Chandogya Upanishad when we said the lower consciousness and the higher consciousness, which are the division points we have in detail explained. So a person, when he is born from the higher consciousness. So he has got all the qualities of the higher consciousness. But afflicted by the lower consciousness, getting into the maya, getting into the attraction and attachment, he forgets that for which purpose he has been taken birth. That's called maya. Maya is that great powerful instrument which hides the truth behind the false. It's called maya. So what happens? Truth is there. It hides the truth behind the false is called maya. So a person who gets afflicted by that, he gets influenced by the external. Is it not? It is very true. We all get caught by the maya without knowing the beautiful, the inner consciousness. That's why they call it as inner consciousness, because inner means that when the hidden part is removed, the inner is the consciousness, is why it is known as inner consciousness, not inside the body. No. The inner consciousness means that. Higher consciousness means that the attributes of virtues, the gunas, in the lower consciousness, he is getting afflicted by that. The one who goes above that is called the higher consciousness, not lower and higher depending upon the body and mind. It is the quality of the virtues of that which is higher and lower. Same way, when a person is born, he is born with the highest consciousness, with all the capabilities to execute his karmas and exhaust them. He has got all the informations, he has got all the tools, he he has got all the time, he has got a right place, right environment, right era, right period of time, samaya, kala, everything is prepared and given to him. It is not that he has to earn something in order to acquire that, executing the good karma. He has been sent with full equipped way, not that something is lacking behind, and everything qualitative, because it is done from the highest consciousness. So every man is sent with every facility that is necessary for his leading his life. But what happened when he came with all that? He got afflicted to the Maya and forgot about what he has got. Like the Kapota and Kapoti, they got attracted and attached to those externalities only. They did not worry, they did not think about the highest consciousness, how the liberation could be done. One should have the purpose of liberation first, and through a liberation one should execute the karmas. Having born, definitely one has to execute karmas. Like Chandogya Upanishad said, during the I repeat every time because that's a beautiful example. It's fresh in memory. Like the beautiful Chandogya Upanishad, during the process of brahmacharya, he learns complete jnanam of the purpose of living and the ways and means of living. Based on that ways and means of living and for the purpose of living, he has learned it, prepared it well, and have known. Prepared it well means what? We don't bring any equipments with in the human body. Everything has come along with we call it as fate, destiny, and things like that. We got everything with us. All the jnanam is there, equipments are there, kala is there, situation is there, circumstances are there, and strength is there, everything is there, shakti is there, everything is there. But all this is there when you are conscious about it. In Purana, I take you to some of the facts of the stories. When Hanuman was small, he did a lot of it. He is very naughty, this Kapi Hridaya, that it is like that is his Kapi Hridaya. That means it's always some mischief or other looking at it. He was very powerful. Bhagwan Shiv's Ashirvad, Vayuputra, tremendous speed, tremendous Shakti. Also, one day he went to an ashram, created a lot of problems to the saints. Sannyasis could not do tapasya. He used to create storm, and all the dry leaves, everything will fly on them. And he laughs. The poor fellows are running around. He will put the Agni down when the Agni is going. All sorts of this mischief, like a child after all. One day, Maharshi, when he was doing this yajna and tapasya, he went and disturbed him. Okay, it's a long story, I am not going to all that. Disturbed him, so he cursed him. Now, you will forget your strength. You will forget your strength. Now, he was in great trouble, forgot everything. Goes back home, then his father comes along with him. Mother Anjani comes along with him. He didn't know what happened to the son. He only knows that he has come to you. You did some shapa, but suddenly after that he is so disappointed, depressed. He is not playing, he is not eating, not sleeping. So this couple, Anjani, came, Anjani and his husband, the Raja, they came and prostrated in front of the Maharshi and said that, please tell me what is the problem. This boy is so mischievous and he had been disturbing us during the process of Yajna and Tapasya. So I cursed him like this. Maharshis are always kind. They always keep a provision for the good, then only do that. So I have done the curse, no doubt about it. I did it because it is necessary, otherwise he will create a lot of problem to the world. So at this age, it is not necessary for him. His strength will be there. You don't have to worry about it. But then how to, at one point of time, nobody will be there to tell him how will he recover his strength in case of necessity. Today, okay, he's a child, it's not necessary. But at a point of time, he may require it in order to, that's why his birth has been taken place, because Anjani got the vision of Bhagavan Shiv and he blessed her, saying that no, this such and such person, very powerful person, will be born as a son, and he has got a lot of activities in the happenings of the universe along with Ram, and then he will bring a lot of good things here. So that was the condition. So Bhagavan has given this blessing and you have cursed him. It's contradictory. Now how will he execute his karmas? He said that I will give you one, there is a remedy for that, antidote for that is that whenever somebody reminds him of his powers, Shakti, immediately he will remember. So Jambavan, at the time of crossing of Lanka, when it came to that, who will jump the sea across? Only powerful person is anyone, that only Jambavan knew about it. So he calls him close by and said that, hey, anyone, now you sit down. Takes him into past life regression. In this life only. Into past life regression, close your eyes, be calm. Think about it when you were a small child. See what all you have done, how it has happened. You used to go and swallow the moon, the sun, at one point of time. And you did so many things, this is, he started telling all this, reminding him of that. He said, you have got enormous powers within you. Only thing, because of that Shapa of Rishi, because of your mischief, he has cursed you and you forgot at that time. Now wake up. How to remind? This is called regression. This waking up is called regression. You do the same regression, waking up. You see, you were not aware of it, but it was there. Now you have come to know about it. It's called regression. After regression, he came to know about his strength. Then he jumped the sea to Lanka. Why did I say this? Like a man gets entangled in the Maya and forgets the highest consciousness, unless one reminds you that you are a highest conscious person when you are born, and all that consciousness and strength and powers and vigor in you, you have it even now. You are not lost it. You are a part of Parabrahma. You are Brahma. You are Parabrahman. You have got the Brahma Amsha in you, and you have got all the Shakti in you. This somebody has to remind you. Then only one will realize is the principle. You understand? That is why one goes to the Guru and Gurukula, and through the Upasana, that is, Upasana is that, following him. Through the Upasana and Nididhyasana, they attain their own realization of the self, we called it. That means the self is who? The one who has been born with all those capabilities and capacities in order to execute his karma. The moment that realization comes, he becomes pure and he is able to execute. Then the renunciation, that means the Vairagya, takes place. Vairagya is what? Vairagya to those which are not truth. It's called Vairagya. Vairagya is not for the truth. Vairagya is not meant for. Why? Raga is Vairagya. Raga. Raga means attachment. Attachment is that which is external, not the one. That's why it is known as attachment. Raga, Dvesha, Ragam. Ragam is attachment. So, he identifies that, he renounces it. When he renounces it, that means he is out of the Maya. He has got liberation from the Maya. When he gets liberation from Maya, he has identified his consciousness, and through his Atma and the highest consciousness, he executes those karmas and he gets the liberation and mukti, not indulging into the dvandvata. That means sukha dukkhedi, shitoshnedi, opposites of those, and getting entangled in and then getting sunk by the Maya. The more and more you go into that, you more get sunk into that. It's like a draws you towards that. So Bhagavan says, that is why he said, Yap prapya manusham lokam. Like the Manushya has gained the gateway to liberation, mind, like an open to gateway to liberation, is attached like a bird, like a Buddha, to the concerns of his attachment and attractions, and only doesn't matter, nothing wrong in getting attachment and attraction, but with the knowledge of the highest consciousness. Then it will not be called as attachment. It will be known as the either kartavya or karma or dharma. Like what we explained in the last class, this division of these three. Kartavya, karma, dharma. We will get entangled in when we'll identify ourselves in that, so that even though you will be doing the same thing, it appears that it will be doing the same thing, but he will be doing it absolutely with the highest consciousness. This is how the Maharishis and Tapasvis lead a Grihastha Jivan. So, hey Bhagavan, hey Rajan, where are we? The Avadhuta tells the Yadu, hey Rajan, this is what I have learned from the Kapota. From the birds I have learned this, not to get afflicted to that and get sunk into that dundada, in the happiness, entangled into that happiness and dukkha, santosha and dukkha, santosha and santapa. The santosha and santapa are nothing but my own created sensory Mayaik world. Nothing other than that. That is how I had to suffer that. If anyone has been born, they have to die in one way or other. He being the bird, he should have been careful. He should have understood that one day this happens to the bird. Either had he been conscious about it, he would have been in the highest consciousness with a liberated form. When he is in the liberated consciousness, living in the liberated consciousness, like the brahmacharis in the Grihastha ashram, a brahmachari in the Grihastha ashram would know what will come, what is going to happen, what is the problem going to happen. So he takes precautions to that. If the bird, the kapota, was conscious enough and liberated, not entangled with sukha dukkha and only sunk into that emotional attractions and attachment, he could have saved them. And he would have executed his kartavya in the right manner and would have been in the ananda avastha, that's all, in another way. Okay. Well, saving, not saving, everything is again their own karmas. Here, as far as this story is concerned, this is what he said, I have learned from the Kapota, hey Rajan, is what he said. Beautiful story, I liked it. So the next chapter 3, we are close. Okay. I think we will close today with this because you enjoy the story and you also enjoy the
message of the story.
Message of the story. Next is we go to a python. What he learned from a python. Snake, lying down. So next teacher is python. Beautifully explained. Shambho Mahadeva.